Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. I want to say thank you to the fans for getting this video over 11K last week. And I just want to say week one is always crazy, and Rome wasn't built in one day. If you're judging your whole season, your whole betting season by 1 week, you're making a mistake. Week two, we got some meat to pick. Hit the like button, subscribe. First game, we got the New York Giants +3 at the Washington No Names. I have to go Washington -3, but this is the definition of a coin flip game. Last week, we saw the Giants come out and disappoint. A big fumble from Daniel Jones. Saquon didn't really go off. We saw Washington actually play good, and I don't want to throw shade against Herbert or the Chargers. They deserve that dub, but I truly believe that Fitzpatrick wasn't hurt, Fitzpatrick would have won that game against the Chargers last week. It was setting up for him to get it. But with that being said, you have to go to home field advantage in this game, and you have to say which of these good defenses is better. I'm going with Washington. This is Daniel Jones' time to shine. If he doesn't show up, Washington wins easy. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. New Orleans is -4. I'm going Carolina to cover, New Orleans to win. I think New Orleans wins with a late field goal here. I'm curious to see what Sean Payton does. We knew he was going to run it, and that's one thing he did last week. Jameis played pretty damn good, but I think this Carolina team, they're going to be ready to fight. They look pretty good against the Jets. They faded at times. They didn't put up enough points. But I'm curious to see what Carolina can do in this game. I think they lose in a heartbreaker. I think they lose a close game. New Orleans by 1 point. Next game, we got the Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. Houston +12.5. You know me, and I made a lot of money by taking big point spreads. +12, +13. He even hit on the Jets a few times last year. This is time where I'm not going that direction. I am just not going that direction with this Houston team. Cleveland to win and to cover. I think Cleveland's going to be way too strong in the front for the Texans. And you know it's cute. They get that week one win without Deshaun Watson. They beat up on the Jags. But one area where they really exploited the Jags when I was watching film last night was in the trenches. You're not going to expose the best offensive line in the league in the trenches in Cleveland, and you're not going to expose Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney. I think Cleveland controls the game in the trenches, and that leads to absolute domination. Cleveland wins and covers, borderline money pick. Yeah, that 12.5 is a bit scary, but I'm curious to see which way it goes. Next game, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Chicago Bears. The Bears, Cincinnati +3. I got Chicago to win in the cover, and I'll tell you why I'm going this direction. I don't like Andy Dalton. I don't feel like he's too focused. I like when we saw Justin Fields on the field last week against the Rams. But even with the red rifle, I think the Bears' defense is good enough to punch this game out. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be systematic, but it will be something that you can hang your head upon. And now, I'm the biggest Joe Burrow fan on the internet, and I want to get excited about Cincinnati, but I think we need to take a hard look at Minnesota when judging our just enthusiasm about Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's competitive, but I think Chicago wins this game. I think Cincinnati makes too many mistakes in big situations. They almost blew the game to Minnesota last week as well. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders +5.5 at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got Las Vegas to cover, the same methodology as last night's game when I had Vegas to cover, and I got Pitt to win. Now, that was a big win by Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is an absolute boss. He's an absolute boss as a head coach. We know that already. But don't you think some of this pixie dust is going to wear off a little bit? And don't you think Pittsburgh comes back down to reality? Unless we were all just completely wrong about them. listen, you got to put stock on that victory against the Bills and Josh Allen, but you can't let it change everything. I'm pretty damn sure Las Vegas covers here. I think Pittsburgh wins just by a smidge. I really think Heinz Field's help. I could see the Raiders missing 2 field goals in this game and that being the difference. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. Bills are -3. Money, money, money. Money. Buffalo to win in the cover on the road. I really like it. I might change this to money lines just so I don't have to deal with the points because I saw it was like -170, -160 on the money line. But either way, I think Buffalo's going to respond. And listen, this is a little bit of pressure on the Bills. I know it's week 1. We got 16 more games. Everyone needs to stay calm. Same with the bettors. Whether you won big in week 1 or you lost big in week 1, you have to stay calm. And I think Buffalo does that. I think Buffalo is just going to be too damn much for this Miami defense. Not because this Miami defense can't match up in the secondary, but I don't think this Miami defense is going to get the pass rush. If you tell me they're going to come in here and get a pass rush, hell, I think Miami could come in and steal this game. I really do, but I don't think they're going to get the pass rush against Josh Allen. A big part of that Bills loss against the Steelers was firstly the Steelers pass rush, but secondly, just a Goliath superstar-like performance from TJ Watt. Is there TJ Watt on the Dolphins? Is there a top 10 pass rusher on the Dolphins? Is there someone that scares you? No, and Tua didn't do much last week to solve my concerns, not a whole lot. Buffalo wins and covers, make it a money pick, and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, keep sharing these videos. Thank you for the 11K last week. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. The Rams are -3.5. I got the Rams to win in a cover. Carson Wentz didn't look too bad with the Colts, but the Colts still don't have enough weapons for him to throw to. And if you're able, I'm not even saying stop the Colts run game. If you're able to get in its way a little bit, get them to a 2nd and 11, get them to a 2nd and 12, even get them to a 3rd and 7, that's when the Colts look bad. And I think that's what the Rams are going to do. They're going to put 8-9 men in this box, and they're going to say, Carson Wentz, you beat us. You use T.Y. Hilton to beat us. You try to throw this all over the park on us and see what happens. I love Frank Reich, but I think Sean McVay comes in and takes over this game. I'm looking towards this Rams run game. I want to see how it continues to develop. Stafford looks good so far. Rams win and cover. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers -3.5 at the Philadelphia Eagles. I got San Fran to win in the cover. I'm making a money pick. Money, money, money. Money. San Fran wins in the cover. San Fran is just too fundamentally sound in all facets of the game. And I said last week when we were talking about Jalen Hurts, I know everyone wants to sleep on him, but he adds a tremendous amount of physicality and will in the run game. And that's something you can never overlook, especially if you're looking at a team that isn't physical, that's a little bit fugazi like the Atlanta Falcons. But you're not getting Atlanta Falcons this week. You're getting a very physical, a very fierce 49ers front seven with a healthy Bosa. And I don't think Philadelphia is going to be able to run this ball. We know San Fran is going to be able to run this ball. I don't see Philadelphia getting over 10 points on offense. I just don't see it. I don't think Hurts has the help, nor do I think this offensive line is ready for the physical battle that awaits them this Sunday. When you play the 49ers, yes, it is a football game, but it is also a little bit like a physical battle. This is how football was in the 80s, early 90s. If you can't play physical, if you can't beat someone up, you're just not going to win that game. I think the 49ers clobber the Eagles, and the Eagles eventually fold in the fourth quarter, and it turns into a laugher. San Fran winning the cover, making a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver -6. This is trench warfare here. This is just trench warfare. I'm digging a trench, and I'm just staying here. Jacksonville +6, Denver wins. I don't have any science. After that catastrophe that the Jaguars put on the field in Houston, Texas last week, I am without words. This is a game they should be covering. I'm not even expecting them to win it. I think the Jags have like a 20-game lose streak. I'm not expecting them to win it, but I am expecting them to keep it close and put Trevor Lawrence in positions to win. Denver wins this game. There isn't a lot of science here. Stay the hell away from this one unless you really got a vibe for Denver. But guys, like all things considering, Denver and the Heat, we know Jacksonville's bad, but they really should be covering this game. All the fundamentals stack up for them, but we know how that goes with the Jags. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the New York Jets, Jets. New England -5 on the road. I got the Jets +5.5 to cover. New England to win, but I'm not so sure the Jets don't have something here. Now, last week was a little bit disappointing against the Panthers. They still were able to work out a push. They fought hard. They looked more organized than last year, but that's not saying a whole lot because you're comparing it with Adam Gase, one of the most unorganized coaches in this league. But I'm just feeling the Jets coming in here and matching the Patriots' physicality. If you're able to match the Patriots' physicality, turns into an even game, and it comes down to which quarterback is going to make the bigger play. Unfortunately, in this game, I think the Patriots win because they're able to run the ball better, and that puts Mac Jones in better situations. New England wins, but these pesky Jets cover. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Arizona Cardinals. +4, mini +4 going into the desert. This is a borderline money pick. I'm not going to bet against my own team, but Arizona to win in the cover with the -4. Now, I'm not saying Arizona Super Bowl, and I don't truly believe Arizona can win the NFC West after that Titans performance. I know that's going to be an unpopular opinion, but someone needs to come in and be the sobering adult. But it doesn't mean this Arizona Cardinals team isn't dangerous and they aren't explosive. I'm worried about the Vikings offense matching up with the Cardinals defense. And I didn't even get into this Vikings defense that looked really poor against the Bengals. The Bengals made a lot of sloppy mistakes on offense that really held back their point total. I'm telling you, this Minnesota Vikings defense really isn't ready, and they look a few bodies short in the secondary as well. We saw Daniel Hunter. He played well, but I think Arizona has enough to contain them. And if Cliff Kingsbury keeps working in the run, keeps with the run-pass balance, I see no reason why Arizona doesn't win this game. Arizona to win in the cover, -4. And we also have to remember the Vikings travel terrible, and the Cardinals are awesome in the desert. And the desert is one of the most underrated home field advantages in the NFL. And anyone who doesn't know that really isn't someone who should be considered a serious gamble. I've won so much money betting Arizona home games over the past 7 years. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dare I say our Buccaneers. Atlanta's +12.5. And we know Tampa Bay, they printed us money last year, and we know they're going to continue doing it. But eventually Vegas is going to make an adjustment, and this Atlanta +12.5 on the road is what I call an adjustment. I'm going Atlanta to cover because I think Tampa Bay loses focus in this game. Now, I'm not saying if Tampa Bay was fully focused that they wouldn't blow the hell out of the Falcons. The Falcons showed last week that they have serious issues, and it's issues with talent now. But it's more so issues psychologically, and it doesn't seem like they solved those issues. And Tampa Bay's the wrong team to be playing if you're having those issues. But I still think Atlanta does enough to cover. Tampa wins. I think Tampa, this is one of their games where they go like 75% and just kind of take this easy and take it home. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Seattle Seahawks. Titans +5.5. I got a surprising one here. I got the Titans to cover, winning cover, Titans with a crazy upset. I didn't want to go here. This is kind of a spur of a moment pick because I did have Seattle to win, but I think the Titans respond. And I'm not the biggest Titans guy in the world. You guys know I don't like Mike Vrabel. I've taken a lot of heat for my criticism of Mike Vrabel, but I think I'm right. But even with that being said, if Tennessee gets back to old school football, I think they're looking at this game as a ride or die situation. I know it's week 2. I know the Colts are 0-1, but I really feel an energy from the Titans that this is a bit ride or die. This is a little bit Alamo style, even though this is only the second game of the season. I think they come in. I think they run it 35 to 40 times. I think they push the Seattle front back. But also the Seattle defense is still vulnerable. So if Tennessee gets the run game going, I think they got money from this play action. Seattle, let's see what their offense does. Their offense could tear up this secondary. But I think the Titans will do just enough with the pass rush to slow down Russell America Wilson, and that'll make the difference. Titans winning the cover in an upset. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the LA Chargers. Dallas +3 on the road, and you're going to hate me for it, guys, but I got Dallas to go on the road and roll into LA and get this win. We don't like hyping up Dallas, and I'm not one to do it, but I was one of the few people who had Dallas last week to cover against our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I do want to put that out there. Now, you're looking at the Chargers, and I guess it depends what type of glass you got right now. If you got the glass half empty, they would have lost if Fitzpatrick continued playing. If you got it playing, if you got the glass half full, Herbert would have fucking just demolished Fitzpatrick. Maybe the truth is in the middle. I still think Washington wins that game, and I think that has serious implications. The secondary, the Chargers, they better be ready, man. They better be ready against this Cowboys pass game. And that's what I think's coming. This game is a shootout. This is Herbert versus Dak. I don't like being simplistic. Football is a complicated game, but this is Dak versus Herbert. Dak versus Herbert. I just happen to think Dak has more bullets at this point, right? I just think he has more weapons to work and throw to than young Justin Herbert. And I think he has a better offensive line, although the Cowboys are having some injury issues up there. Cowboys winning a cover in an upset. I could regret this one. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City -3.5. Kansas City to win in the cover. This is a borderline money pick. I am staying away from a money pick because there's going to be a lot of media eyeballs on this game. This is going to be the game of the week. This is probably going to have the most gambling action of the weekend. Don't you guys think? Unless like casual Steelers and Cowboys fans just throwing bets for fun. But I imagine this is going to be the most casually bet game of the weekend, and you know that leads to crazy things. I think the Chiefs win in the cover. And even though Latavius Murray was able to come in and run it for the Ravens last week against the Ravens, or against the Raiders last night against the Raiders, didn't you guys feel this Ravens offense looked a step slow? Yes, Lamar Jackson was able to put up good stats throwing it, but did he look proficient? Did he look prolific? Did it look like something you can trust without a dominant run game? I'm not sure. And I'm not sure the Chiefs defense even plays well. I just think Mahomes is in the mode now where he's saying, I'm going to produce. I'm going to throw it as much as we need to win. And the Chiefs aren't worried about style points. That's why they don't cover a lot of spreads. And that's one reason why this is a borderline money pick, not one you go put the ticket in right away, because the Chiefs, they're lackadaisical. And when you have Super Bowl rings, you do look more towards the playoffs. When you look at the motivation factor of this game, yes, Baltimore does have higher motivation than the Kansas City Chiefs, but Baltimore also has more problems at the moment. Chiefs winning the cover. Last game of the weekend, Monday Night Football. We got the Detroit Lions. Detroit at the Green Bay Packers. Detroit's +11.5. I got Green Bay to win in the cover. Now, we got to have a conversation about Green Bay. I don't want anyone betting this game unless you have a good read on the Lions and you want to ride or die with that 11.5. You guys know that's how I love betting. I love taking big point spreads. I love riding it out. And normally it turns successful. I just can't do it this game because I think Green Bay is going to come in with a mission to kill, a seek and destroy type mission when they take this field Monday night against the Lions. And yeah, that was cute. Yeah, that was a little bit inspirational. The Lions tacking up those garbage points against the 49ers. And I don't even want to use the term garbage points because I respect them for fighting to the end. But Green Bay's got to respond. And I've gotten messages and comments from viewers asking me, do you think Aaron Rodgers is like sandbagging this? Do you think he's maybe tanking this away? That's a good question. I honestly have to consider it. Normally, I don't consider nonsense like that. But maybe it's not him just intentionally doing it. Sometimes the NFL is a crazy place. You can have like third or fourth worst talent in the league. You can get to the playoffs, even with a crap quarterback, if you have great team chemistry and a good, strong, smart head coach. It doesn't seem like the Packers have any of that. They still will win in the cover, but man, we have to be very, very cautious with the Packers. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. I will be live Friday, 4 o'clock, I believe. I'll answer your questions there. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Go to my Patreon, only $5 a month. You will see every game I bet. Link in description. Share the videos. I appreciate you guys.